changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code 1010XL, and you'll get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 and over only. Restrictions apply. Eligibility and requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
I'm Jared Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. The Tampa Bay Lightning have signed Jeffrey Veal to a 5-year, $12.5 million contract, and the Panthers have extended Sandis Vilmanis. Packer will be at Twin Peaks tonight for the USA-Bosnia match. Be sure to stop by. Then after the match, JJ LaSelva will be reacting live on the 1010XL YouTube page. 1010XL has World Cup updates all day. It's 86 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Aaron Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
You made it! You made it! You made it! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome July. July 1st, a football month. As a matter of fact, only 24 more days. Things actually get rolling. It's incredible for those of you who just cannot go on. You can't carry on without football. You've made it. The month is here. And it's 3+ weeks away. Absolutely out of this world. It was John Lennon who said, what? Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans, right? Well, that may have been you. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Up next for you is I've had enough of preseason football. But that's okay. It's all fun and games here. I get it. It's a one-horse town. You want your football. You need your football. You're going to get your football. And it's going to be a totally different landscape from what we witnessed a year ago. I feel like I can virtually guarantee to you that there's not going to be a stop set in practice where they line up and run 40 consecutive plays where all they do is address the line, listen for the cadence, snap the ball, and the officials blow the whistle. It was football 101. It was high school-ish, but it's a very complex offense that Liam Cohen runs. And guess what? They're all back. The entire offensive line is back. All right? You lost Diami Brown. All right? You lost Travis Etienne. Get over it. The replacements are there. They're in. It's going to be a better football team than it was one season ago. A lot of truth to what John Lennon said years ago. He didn't need AI to come up with that. He didn't need any digital technology to come up with those lyrics. But let it sink in a little bit as you head towards the July 4th celebration. 250 tremendous years in this country. And tonight, USA Bosnia. That's less than a couple hours away. We'll check in with JJ next hour. Of course, he's got a live appearance after the game and also his podcast. I know very, very, very little about soccer. JJ knows a great deal, so he's going to join us later in the show. You know, final thought on the legendary quote made by Lennon. It's always been a real stickler for me about enjoying every day. And that's just the way that my life has always been. That's why I go crazy over the phrase, I can't wait for. I understand it's just an expression, right? People say it. You're excited about something. It's the most simplest thing to come out and say. But think about that for a minute. Life goes on while you're making other plans. And it just shocks me that there are people who would legitimately give up days, weeks, months to get to football. And I understand we all want football, but you just as soon give it up. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. And, another thing that I've always wondered, and we're going to get a great deal of that coming up here now with the fireworks, is what about enjoying the moment as opposed to whipping out the cell? I love going to concerts, and it's like the opening song. Man, I got to get that on my phone. Folks, all you have to do is go to YouTube, and there's about 1 million videos of the exact same thing. Or when the fireworks go off, you got to get it. When there's a flyover at the stadium, you got to get it. I just want to remind you, and I'm not technically there, not even the slightest bit, but any one of those things, if you go to YouTube, okay, you're going to get video after video after video after video after video. It is okay every once in a while just to kind of sit back, take the phone, put it in your back. If you're in New York, don't put it in your back pocket. Get a zipper and, maybe get a fanny pack. I don't know. Don't put it in your back pocket. That applies to Las Vegas, New Orleans as well. I had my phone stolen in New Orleans. But just enjoying the moment, enjoying the day. Okay? I don't give advice, but if I did, that is something that I would probably tell you. Hey, let's celebrate Bobby Bonilla Day. Are you kidding me? 1.9 million. He gets it through the year 2035, and this came into existence in the year 2011. I don't care where your means are, whether you're struggling right out of college, whatever it is, midlife crisis, or you're well set. Can you imagine getting a check every single July 1st for $1.19 million? That is absolutely freaking incredible. And Manny Ramirez had this through today. The Boston Red Sox were paying him from 2011 through 2026, $2 million a day. I think Manny's still playing baseball somewhere overseas. I don't know if he's back in like the Dominican Republic or where, in fact. I want to say he grew up. I know he grew up in New York, but Manny may have been born overseas somewhere. And, I'm not going to waste any time on this because it's not what you want to hear right now, and I get it. But when they do reach a new collective bargaining agreement, and every single day that goes by in baseball, and I hate this because it's been such a phenomenal season. I mean, tonight's game coming up in about 45 minutes, Paul Skeens against Zach Wheeler. Hey, all the attention's going to be on USA Bosnia. I get it. I happen to own more than one television set. I am going to be watching Wheeler and Skeens. Skeens hasn't won in like a month. And for the first time ever, perhaps, I don't know that. I'm just guessing. His earned run average is actually over 3. But once they do get together, the players union along with Major League Baseball, man, you got to do something about these deferred payments. That has to be a part of the future of the game where that is no longer applied. Because look at what the Dodgers have done, and they're the prime example. Typically, when you get into a conversation like this, you just want to go after the Yankees and blame the Yankees and get on the evil empire. That is not the case. This is absolutely much more about the Dodgers. Hey, I get it. Not a baseball town. You want to talk football, but I just thought I would begin things by talking about that with you. All right. Some things I want to get into tonight on the show. College football. I just hinted on it a little bit, but you know what college football needs more than anything? A good grounding. Seriously. I mean, no dessert, no going out, no time with your friends, no Friday, Saturday night parties. I mean, they need a good, solid grounding. And I think a lot of it as well comes down to the people who are isolated only to that sport. Those who only cover college football. It's same old, same old, same old. There's no roll of the dice. There's no gamble. It's give me the heavy, give me the obvious, and here you go. Top 5 quarterbacks, top 5 coaches, top 5 schools, top 5, blue bloods. There's never a, hey, look out for Indiana this year. You're never going to find anyone who's going to come out and say, give me a school that's a non-power that can actually make a run this year. And, I don't even know how to figure it out. I think that this has always been something that has been ongoing. And I think a lot of it is because football disappears for about 8 months a year. It does. The NFL is so relevant, right? The NFL finds ways to get to you every single week. It's amazing. Even during their, slowest time, if I can even say that, they find ways to be creative, come forward with this, come forward with that. The NFL is always there. I talk about the NFL, and I understand that there's one pro team here in this town as far as the big, so I'm always going to give you Jaguars stuff. It's what you want, okay? We've done a lot of research. We've had a lot of stuff that has come to us that says, even in the offseason, people want to hear about the Jaguars. But there's a lot, there's a total lack of knowledge that goes on in college football. I had a lot of people respond to me yesterday. Okay, you go back to the Diana Rossini situation. You got this guy on Twitter and social media who's going crazy, really covering everything about her. And he's gone back in the time and pulled out example after example and things that she has done earlier in her career. And he's calling out ESPN and he's calling out colleagues saying, why hasn't anyone said anything about Diana Rossini? Because apparently they're close friends. And I responded to this cat yesterday, and I was like, that's nothing. Over in Tallahassee, Mike Norvell walks to the podium with a black eye. A black eye. And not one member of the Florida State media dared to ask him what happened. Think about that for a moment. Okay? And that's just a small part of it. Living in fear, the threat of not having access to a program. And then on top of that, you turn around and you start to read, you start to read the list after list after list after list. They're all out today. I looked at the AP projections. It's exactly what you think it is. Okay. And it involves what? All 5 who are returning a quarterback. All 5 who have arguably the best head coach in college football. So I want to talk about that, give you some reasons around it as we get things started here on this Wednesday. Matt Hayes, a good colleague of mine. At least Matt takes a chance here and there and has for decades, will write about something that's not the norm. I remember doing interviews with Hayes for decades where he would give me, keep an eye on this team, keep an eye on that team. That's not the way that most operate here. And that's totally different from football. Look at what we did last night at this time. Went through how every single year a team who finishes last in a division turns around and wins a division. It happened in Chicago last year. It happened with the New England Patriots last year. It almost happened with Jacksonville last year. Thankfully, Tennessee was one game behind them and remained in the basement during the 2025 campaign. But again, you look at top coaches in college football, if they have a down year, they're still ranked high. That's never the case on Saturday. It's amazing. It really is. It's like sheep just following the way that the rankings are going to be. Top ranking equals top quarterback equals top coach. It's really awful if you think about it. But I'm going to begin with that. We got a ton to do right here on this, what is it? Wednesday edition. Wednesday, July 1st. My goodness, that's crazy. It really is. July, man. I feel like it was yesterday where we were talking about the Jaguars and a playoff loss against Buffalo. That's how fast it has moved. And the two reasons, why didn't they keep running the ball with Tootin and why didn't they kick the field goal? Have a massive problem with the former, not the latter. That's Liam Cohen football. He's gonna go for it on fourth down, and I don't have an issue with it. Okay, not running the ball, not giving it back to Tootin. I believe that's gonna burn, because they win they win the game if they run Bayshell Tootin. And yet you got the national media out there who obviously did not watch that playoff game because they continue to nitpick and say that the rushing attack is one of the big problems that this football team does have. Okay, good folks over at Shmunez Vision want to wish you a very safe holiday. You know, I sound like a broken record, but I saw it again today. Right there on Phillips Highway. Was Phillips and just past, was it Sunbeam or was it Bay Meadows? I can't remember, but 4 cop cars, another big crash. It's happening every single day. I see it on my way to work. There's a lot of careless driving that is out there, and that may be something that is because you cannot see. I can't always blame it on using your cell phone. There are times where maybe your vision isn't where it's supposed to be. I've been telling you forever. Some of you have still not taken advantage of this. Make yourself an appointment today at Shmunez Vision. When you go in for an examination, you're going to get with one of the 3 doctors, Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, or Dr. John Hunt, okay? They're going to examine you. They are going to talk about the health of your eyes. Do you need a new prescription? Do you have a situation perhaps with cataract? There can be a ton of misinformation with cataract. And by the way, that whole process can become insanely expensive, all right, because they'll put you on this machine and that machine. And I guess Shmunez Vision, they have those machines. But if you don't need to use them, they're not going to put you on them. They're not going to raise the bill just for the sake of doing it. Now, if surgery is needed or if it's wanted, like laser eye surgery, imagine 2020 for the rest of your life. I was noticing today I was running out of contacts. I had some in my lower drawer in the bathroom. I don't know what things are really. I have a real good GF who does all that stuff for me. But I'm like, where the heck are my contacts? She's like, second drawer, right below your left hand. I'm like, thank you. But imagine life where you would never have to need contacts, where you would never have to look for your readers, okay? Same people will answer your questions, and more than 37 years worth of experience. They do it all right there at Shmunez Vision. Check them out online. Also go to Instagram, get all of the testimonials. All right, we're real busy tonight. Jared Justice is here. I am here. July is here. We move along. It's July 1st. This show is called Into the Night.
Don't answer that.
Yeah.
What's your name?
This is 1010XL.
What are you?
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Ballou here for Shmunez Vision. Why Shmunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Shmunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Shmunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit ShmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Daly's is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Daly's. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Train your putt with pitch-perfect pointers from the pros and Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser on Brunch with the Tour. Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation and North Florida Medical Centers.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh, yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel and ONU alumni Michael Dargavel here. The hardest transition isn't deployment, it's coming home. Be part of the solution at ONU's Mission Possible Gala, October 17th at Sawgrass Marriott. For information and to register, go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
Hacker here. 4th of July week is here, which means America's celebrating the way it should. Fireworks, cookouts, and cold drinks. But I want to know this. Did you take Awaken 180 up on Lose 40 by the 4th? Because people did. Listeners did. Greg and Sales did. And the guy is just a few pounds away from dropping 40. That's not a commercial number. That's a walk into the cookout and people start asking questions number. I know the feeling. I lost 120 pounds with Awaken 180. My first 40 came off in just weeks. And I dropped all my prescription medication as well. So if you missed the deadline, fine. Don't go hide behind a paper plate and call it a year. Pick the next one. August, Labor Day, your beach trip, whatever gets you moving. Awaken 180 gives you the food, the plan, the coaching, and the support to actually finish the job. Have questions? Ask them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You can change a name. You can also add to a name. Right? John Cougar didn't like it, so it became John Cougar Mellencamp. I say this out of respect. I don't want to offend. I'm just ignorant to it all. But when did Bosnia add another country to their name? Do we have an answer today? In a word that I'm not even going to attempt to try to throw out there. But, we got a big one tonight. And I want to say the United States against Bosnia, but that's not the case. And it's not as though I know a whole heck of a lot about Bosnia. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what's going on here in the United States of America, where we're just a couple of days away from celebrating our 250th birthday. But it's now Bosnia-Herzegovina. I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe you do. That's why I ask. Instead of research, I ask. Okay? The United States, more and more money getting thrown on them. Now up to minus 285 to the dollar. The total's 2 and a hook tonight in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. We'll check in with JJ in our second hour for that. Jared Justice is with us as well. They tore down the Great Wall. I remember when the United States beat USSR. We've had changes, but what about actually adding a country? Is that something you studied back in school? Because I must have been absent that day.
The one I remember the most is I dated a diplomat from Trinidad's daughter.
Okay.
And everything that they do Trinidad and Tobago. So they're two separate countries, but they're so small that in order to like compete and stuff, they have to like team up.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's cool with it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the United States needs to team up with somebody.
Well, I mean, according to some, we're on the cusp of, just taking Canada and making it the 51st state. We'll see what ends up happening there. I remember when I got into this business and I was over in God's country, and it was Memphis State that would roll in. Remember Elliot Perry with the goggles? Elliot Perry was a college version of an Andrew Toney. He was a college version of a Vinnie Johnson. Okay, this guy could light it up from anywhere on the basketball court. I do think I know he had a lengthy NBA career and probably, went on to make some real good money in the association. But this kid was on in college. It was Memphis State. And all of a sudden I woke up one day and it was Memphis. So, things do happen. But if you know what's going on, again, I said this without, I know there's people out there just can't wait to cancel me, right? I honestly do not know. But I just thought it was Bosnia, not the addition of yet another country. So anyway, that is the way that I'm getting things rolling here. And if you know what's going on, you can let us in on it. All right, tonight's show is brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. I'm going to get to them in just a couple of seconds. College football is, I have to talk about it because it's so popular. I admit I have a total agenda here. I'm scorned. I think I can comfortably say this. I'm far more affected by what has happened with Florida State than I was when I went through my divorce 19 years ago, okay? That's gone. That's someone else's problem and has been for a long time. Florida State remains my problem. You can try to take a needle and get it out of you. Ain't going to happen. You can try to take a pill and get it out of you. Ain't going to happen. You can overdrink. You can overeat. I've done both. Try to get it out of you. Doesn't work, okay? You can tell yourself it's not important. You can yell about the fact that it's not important, but it is. It's in your blood, and more importantly, it's in your gut. There's only a few things that mean something that stick in your gut, right? You have that major fight with your head. What is it? The id and the super ego, and then the ego comes into play. And then, of course, the heart is where you soften. And we all forgive, right? I mean, we all forgive. It doesn't matter what the situation is. You're going to end up forgiving, all right? You can be, what's his name over in Tennessee and beat the living pulp out of a girl right before you go to Mississippi State. But if you play great football, you're going to become the highest paid defensive tackle in the National Football League. So we all forgive. But there's only a couple of things that rot the gut. And one of them is college football. I can't explain the difference between that and anything that is professional. Anyway, I have an agenda. I'm so down on the game because Florida State has an atrocious coach, and they are a freaking terrible football program. And really just right now, a terrible everything at Florida State. But anyway, enough of that. When you get to the AP projections, Ohio State 1, Oregon 2, Texas 3, Notre Dame 4, Georgia 5. Okay, what's the first thing you think of? I'll tell you what I think of. They're all returning decorated quarterbacks. Julian Sayin at Ohio State, maybe the best player in America at wide receiver, obviously next to him. Dante Moore at Oregon, who came back. I mean, Dylan Raiola transferred over there, and he's going to have to sit. Moore's back. Moore's going to be a very high draft pick with the Ducks. Oregon, to me, is like the Buffalo Bills. Every year they're mentioned. I want to say they're never going to win a national championship in our lifetime, but Indiana proved me wrong a year ago. Indiana proved everyone wrong. The difference is, I'll admit it, most of you will not. Texas, third. They have Arch. That's all you need to say. Archie, man, remember Gloria from, remember Edith Bunker? Said, Archie, I got your beer, Archie. You young guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but Archie, the granddad is saying he doesn't like the fact that Arch is getting all this recognition. He hadn't done anything yet. Arch's going to make more money this year than probably Archie Manning made in his entire NFL career. Think about that for a moment. Notre Dame, they return C.J. Carr. Georgia, they return Gunnar Stockton. But just look at how simple this sport is. Top 5 teams, all return quarterbacks. So let's slide over to CBS. Top-ranked coaches. All right, they put Cignetti at 1, as they should. They just went 15-0, and Indiana won a national championship. Number 2, Kirby Smart. There's Georgia at number 5 in the projected AP poll. Number 3, Ryan Day. There's Ohio State projected number 1 in the AP poll. Marcus Freeman, at number 4. Notre Dame, number 4 in the projected AP poll. Dan Lanning, number 5. Bingo, Oregon, number 2 in the projected Associated Press poll. And finally, Steve Sarkisian. Okay, right there. What do you know? Texas at number 3 with Arch Manning. Think about how different the NFL is. Now, we don't look at power rankings. I don't look at power rankings the way I look at the poll, okay? People say, well, the preseason poll is meaningless. No, it's not. It's got people like me talking about it. It's not even out yet. This is projected. Can you imagine if there was no poll? People wouldn't talk about college football until like the week of the games. It's scary. But look at how educated the NFL media is. And I often rip the national media when it comes to covering this football team in Jacksonville. But the national media can give you the top 5 in power rankings, and it will have, at times, absolutely nothing to do with the top 5 head coaches in the NFL or the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. There's no thought process when it comes to covering football. It's simplified. It is. It's a pack of wolves. It's not a pack of wolves. It's lame-ass sheep. It is. I mean, and I hate it. Okay? I do. There's no aggressiveness. There's no keep an eye on this. There's no keep an eye this year on Louisville. Keep an eye this year on Texas A&M. Keep an eye. No, it's the standard basics, meat and potatoes in college football. So there you go. That's my opinion. And again, it's bias, no doubt. Okay. I have such a negative overall appeal on this sport right now. It is agenda filled. But anyway, what I just told you there hopefully made some sense. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back 3 years ago where it was Nick Saban number 1, Mike Norvell number 2. That's the point I'm trying to make. I mean, where's Mike Norvell now? Where's he ranked? 100? That's all you do is take a team that's doing well and you put the coach there. They don't do it this way in college basketball. They don't do it this way in the NHL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, or the NFL. Why do they do it this way in college football? All right, Rick Ballou here. DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida, win or go home. That's it. That's the World Cup knockout round, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match. The DraftKings app is now live in Florida, so whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you are in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app, right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss, market availability varies, eligibility restrictions apply, $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year, ends July 19th. Terms, dkng.co/predictions promo.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Soccer fans, Michelob Ultra is going to pay somebody $90,000 to go to the FIFA World Cup 2026 final and bring the Superior Player of the Match trophy. Yes, I'm being serious right now. It's got some weight to it. This is the real thing, people. Michelob Ultra, $90,000. FIFA World Cup 2026 final. You watch the match, you get the honor of carrying the Superior Player of the Match trophy. That's a soccer fan's dream come true.
Enjoy the beautiful game with a cold Michelob Ultra, the official beer of World Cup 2026. Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder this summer, plus plenty of other sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Honda always has cool stuff, Greg, but talk about the side-by-side of what Pioneer has.
I tell you, the all-new Pioneer, which is their flagship model, all redesigned this year, comes with a cab for heat and AC, so if you want to stay a little cool on those hot summer days when you're out riding, this is the ticket.
And you can have the stereo, full sound.
You name it, we got it. Wheels, tires, stereos, lights, heat and AC, we're your people.
Go check it out in the showroom. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
For every special occasion, Kuhn Flowers can deliver a beautiful floral arrangement with a click, a call, or a visit to one of their beautiful showrooms. This is RJ with 1010XL. When you need to show someone that you remembered, think Kuhn Flowers.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080. Summer air should feel fresh, not full of dust, allergens, or whatever winter left behind in your vents. Your air ducts, they're the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, you're breathing it in every day. That's where Zero Res comes in. Hicken here, backed by over thousands of Google reviews and a 4.9 out of 5.0 rating. This month only takes $75 off your air duct cleaning. Cleaner air, better efficiency, a fresher home. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Carry on my wayward son.
Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
To rest. Don't you cry no more.
Definitely a July 4th song as far as I'm concerned. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Play some old classic rock. I was all fired up for about a half hour. I saw that on August 21st, a couple of members from Bad Company are coming into town, the Florida Theater, and I'm like, that's it. I'm in. Oh, no, you're not. It's Jaguars, Panthers preseason football right down the road. So it's not going to happen. But there you go. That is the latest. CRS 09 Tool is saying that it's a mountainous region in the north and center. That Bosnia is larger, but it's next. I've also been told that Yugoslavia got ripped apart. We're just going to go with I can't even find it now. What in fact it is, but they've added a state. They've added a country. We're just going to call it Herzog, as in Whitey Herzog, Bosnia Herzog, until we hear differently, and we will from this on. As a matter of fact, Mr. Know-It-All just said, "My gosh, 1010XL has been boring." The sad thing about FSU is they know they have a little hope from the 79 grad. Yeah. I can't respond. Again, we still have a kink here or a chink in the armor, depending on which way you, in fact, say it. Big moves in the NBA. Yeah, we may get there in a little bit. We also may not. 3800 Truth Teller. I know it's early to be texting you. I'm going to do some messages now because I have two guests scheduled at 7 o'clock. Your Jaguars fix with Oehser at 7. JJ on tonight's World Cup at 7:20. 3800 Truth Teller. I know it's early to be texting you, but is there any way we can get some Billy Idol? Just give me some truth to be your theme song. Okay. Can maybe do that. 2694. Ballou, Trevor Lawrence, Super Bowl 61. MVP. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. 35-25. Do you think Liam is more important to the team than Trevor? Which would be harder to replace? All right. Now, this went on in the midst of winning 6 Super Bowls between Belichick and Brady. Can we pump the brakes on this one just a tiny bit? It's been a half a year of success. I'm going to go with the quarterback. I have to. He, as good as I think Liam Cohen is, you have to go with the quarterback. It's very, very rare to take a coach over the quarterback. Really, in any set of circumstances. If you think about it, I don't know, maybe Nick Saban's the exception. Bill Belichick did win one playoff game with the Cleveland Browns. Do you know who Bill Belichick beat in the playoffs when he was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns? Any idea?
I used to know this. This is painful for me. I literally used to know this trivia.
Beat the New England Patriots.
That's right. Was it Pete Carroll?
It was. Yes. It was. But what do they say about Bill Belichick? Couldn't win without Brady. Mac Jones, Drake May, Actually, it was Jared Mayo. My apologies to Bill. It was Jared Mayo who had Drake as a rookie. And I think most would agree that a great quarterback is more important than a great coach. Now, what is perfect is to have the outstanding combination. As great as Andy Reid is, are you taking Andy Reid over Patrick Mahomes? A healthy Patrick Mahomes? As great as Dan Reeves was, you taking John Elway or even Craig Morton before him over Dan Reeves? You taking Mike Shanahan over Dan Reeves, over John Elway? John Shula, the most wins in the history of the game. You taking him over Dan Marino? It's a very good question. I just think it's too soon to ask that question right now here, in my opinion, for what it's worth. 50-22. Ricky B, to use one of your phrases, I will be laying down tape for the Phillies game and the United States soccer against Bosnia because I'll be playing softball until about 10 o'clock. He then drops, I can't wait, which is outstanding. Thank you, 5022. So some good stuff going on there. All right. We're going to head to the top of the hour. We get with John Oehser and, again, JJ next hour. I feel so awful about what has happened to Calais Campbell and his family. This is just horrifying. And, you know, waking up to this news today, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I guess his brother has been arrested for homicide to their mother. I don't know much more about the details. And I'm not even going to blame myself here because I could just ignore the story. But it's presented as Calais Campbell's brother. And this all of a sudden takes over his life. One of the kindest, gentle giants that I've ever met. Okay. And there's a very short list of people in Duval who've ever run into Calais Campbell who don't have something positive to say about him. And I just feel terrible about this. Again, I have no idea. Even if it's been reported, I haven't really, stuck my nose into the story. But I just know how he is. And, man, this is a tragedy. It is. So I, wish the very best to him and his family. I'm sure they're right now in complete shock. But anyway, great things happen to great people. And this has happened to the Campbell family. I think it's another reason why people should never use the most foolish statement of all time outside of, I can't wait. That would be, everything happens for a reason.
Jags, Gators, tomorrow's game. Almost anything goes. If you've got something to say, holler at Hacker. Call, text, or chat. Monday nights from 8 to 10 on 1010XL. Starting July 6th.
Mike Dempsey, if you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
You can actually win a side-by-side at Best Bet St. Augustine.
You know it. Only at Best Bet. The more you play, the more chances you have to win.
Poker, great food and drinks, and a chance to drive home in that side-by-side.
That's what all the buzz is about.
Play your favorite poker and table games at Best Bet St. Augustine for your chance to win an incredible side-by-side. Earn entries now through August 7th. Grand prize giveaway happens August 8th.
Now this just got serious.
Get in the action. Feel the excitement at Best Bet St. Augustine. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Hacker here. 4th of July week is here, which means America's celebrating the way it should. Fireworks, cookouts, and cold drinks. But I want to know this. Did you take a Waken 180 up on Lose 40 by the 4th? Because people did. Listeners did. Greg and Sales did. And the guy is just a few pounds away from dropping 40. That's not a commercial number. That's a walk into the cookout and people start asking questions number. I know the feeling. I lost 120 pounds with Awaken 180. My first 40 came off in just weeks, and I dropped all my prescription medication as well. So if you missed the deadline, fine. Don't go hide behind a paper plate and call it a year. Pick the next one. August, Labor Day, your beach trip, whatever gets you moving. Awaken 180 gives you the food, the plan, the coaching, and the support to actually finish the job. Have questions? Ask them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Looking for a real career with great pay and full benefits? Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. As a growing, family-owned company that cares about its employees, they're hiring lawn technicians in the Jacksonville area. No experience required. This is a salaried position with top industry pay, full benefits, a 401k match, and paid training. Apply today at JulingtonCreekPestControl.com. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, there's your Billy Idol. You ask, and we often deliver. Jaylen Brown on the move, man, within the, well, it's not like it used to be in the NBA, but, I mean, trading him to Philadelphia, when I grew up, that was just an incredible rivalry. When you had Dr. J and Moses Malone and Bobby Jones and Caldwell Jones and Daryl Dawkins and Mo Cheeks and I mentioned him already in the program, Andrew Toney. And Boston, of course, was loaded as well. Jaylen Brown for Paul George and a couple of first and second round picks. So he was clearly unhappy. Apparently, he said, I don't know if this ever made it to print. I was talking to a lot of people in Boston when I was there 2 weeks ago, that this was the most enjoyable year that he had had because Jason Tatum was out for most of it. More enjoyable than actually winning an NBA title. Everything I've heard about Jaylen Brown from my cousin, who, again, his high rise in Boston is right next door to Jaylen Brown. And my cousin basically runs that entire operation when it comes to real estate and knows everyone well. Jaylen Brown is an incredibly nice guy. Treats everyone with the utmost respect, big tipper, etc. He took most of this, high-rise, I don't know what you would call it, condo or what have you, and turned it into a recording studio, which I guess is just absolutely out of this world. But, you have Steven Jackson, Stephen A. Smith went on and said, don't make me say what they think about you in Boston. He was basically threatening him, which is so foolish by a member of the media. I happen to be a Stephen A. Smith fan, absolutely, because I think he's original. I don't think he's a sellout like Skip Bayless or Lebitard. And how about Lebitard? I mean, you have that awful situation, that's going on with Chris Johnson. And he's 39 years of age. He has ALS. And Lebitard starts pounding Michael Strahan for not asking him if he regrets playing football. I mean, are you kidding me? Here's the same guy, Lebitard, who absolutely has not once talked about the Diana Rossini situation. Media on media is weak. It really is. I mean, every once in a while, a tussle's nice, but when it comes to serious topics like this, it's weak. Stay in your lane. There's a ton to talk about You don't need to be calling out Mike Strahan. You have no idea what went into that interview process. He may have said, don't ask me about the NFL. Don't ask me about concussions. Don't ask me about stuff like that. I want to move forward. You don't know. Anyway, back to Jaylen Brown. Nothing but positive comments in the community where he lives. But outside of it, a lot of questions. So he gone. He is gone. All right. John Oehser coming up in 5 minutes. What are the Yankees going to do? They lost again today. They have lost 7 straight. They're still 10 games above 500. But that's glaring right now. And again, the next time I get asked a question about the Tampa Bay Rays will be the first time I get asked a question about the Tampa Bay Rays, probably in the 20 years that I've been back. You think Jacksonville gets no respect, and that's clear by the national media? What about Tampa Bay working with that payroll? All they do is win. They won 6 in a row. All right, great matchup coming up as well. Paul Skeens, Zach Wheeler, the Battle of Pennsylvania. We'll keep you updated on that. In our second hour, in about 30 minutes, we're going to hear from JJ on tonight's World Cup with the United States. And coming up on the other side, we will bring in John Oehser, senior writer, Jaguars.com.
Adding more flavor to your evenings.
What's that haunting aroma?
Into the night with Rick Ballou. Will there be anything else? Have a late night snack with Hacker.
You're going to die soon with that diet. You know that.
Evenings on Jacksonville Sports Radio 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
What 2 vegetables are combined in making succotash?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
In order to make succotash, you'll need dry corn and dry beans. Suffering succotash was made famous by Sylvester the Cat.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Go where the air is fresh and nature is your landscape.
Amazing, isn't it?
We go to the great outdoors with Jeff Logan, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnit Outdoors Show every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Retired U.S. Navy Commander Chris Valdivia from American Roll-On Roll-Off Carrier. The hardest transition isn't deployment, it's coming home. Be part of the solution at ONU's Mission Possible Gala, October 17th at Sawgrass Marriott. For information and to register, go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
Hicken here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Joe C. here. I tried playing handyman with my sprinklers and French drain, and royally failed. So I called Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage, and John Haney came out personally, just like he'll do for you.
You know it. And for a limited time, my good buddy Joe C's coming too.
Huh?
Ain't that right, Joe?
I gotta go to the game.
Joe? Go.
Clearwater Irrigation.
At least do this part. And drainage too.
Clearwater Jacks
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Fred Taylor. If you've been in an auto accident, you need a team who knows how to get you back on your feet and back to your life. At North Florida Medical Center, they don't just treat the injury, they treat the whole person, from physical therapy to pain management. North Florida Medical Center has a team of experts ready to help you heal and recover. I trust the team here at North Florida Medical Center, and you can too. So don't wait. Call North Florida Medical Center and get the care you deserve.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
All right, John Oehser coming up in 30 seconds. He's our senior writer. Actually, he's our guest. He's the senior writer over at Jaguars.com. I got to mention this because it's the two places that baseball fans absolutely want to go to. Fenway Park in Boston, where I was 2 weeks ago, and I grew up there. Wrigley Field in Chicago, where I spent 7 years. Let's say you pick today to go to those sites. Washington beat Boston 10-2 at Fenway. At Wrigley today, the Cubs beat the Padres 23-3. You can have a good time at any park, or field, I should say, when it comes to Wrigley. Certainly, if you picked the folks in Chi-Town, you had absolutely the better time with it. All right, let's bring in John Oehser. John, you've obviously been to every NFL stadium. Have you ever been to Fenway or Wrigley?
Yeah, been to Wrigley, never been to Fenway. And, I'm not a huge baseball fan anymore. I was when I was a kid. And, the strike or the lockout, whatever it was in the 90s, sort of I sort of got out of it at that point, haven't gotten back into it. But Wrigley was terrific. And obviously, as a sports fan, someday I'd love to get to Fenway.
Yeah.
It's out of all of them that are left, that's got to be the most iconic. It still sort of feels like it used to, I would think.
Yeah, they've kind of yuppie proofed it now, and they've added some things in there that me as kind of an old school guy, I appreciate it, but it feels a little bit different. I'll say one thing. I went to Chicago for the game of the century, slid over to South Bend for Notre Dame, Florida State, but I'm sure you were there as well. 1998, when the Jags opened up with Chicago, man, that is when the home run deal with McGuire and baseball was just electrifying. And of course, that day was one of the hottest days ever in Chicago. Edgar Bennett had the tap out. Curtis Enos had the tap out because he wasn't in shape. It was Edgar Bennett who tried to push it in, and the Jaguars had a huge goal line stand at Soldier Field.
Yeah, I think that was our guy Loggeman's last game, if I remember right, too. I think he tore his biceps earlier in that game, or triceps or something. Almost sure that was Jeff's last game, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of those back when you sort of assumed the Jaguars won games like that, and they're getting back to that point. So it's a lot of fun.
They are, and everyone is involved in this, and that included yesterday with the promotion of a couple of coaches. They get a raise, they get a job promotion. It's well earned. Am I reading too much into this with Shane Waldron that if in fact this is it, and Udinsky gets an NFL job, that it's as simple as just promoting Shane Waldron to your next offensive coordinator?
You would think it feels that way. Now, there's a season between that, at least. There's circumstances between that, at least. It would put you in the on-deck circle, I would think. And I've got some questions in the ozone. I've got some, people saying, well, he did this at this stop. He did this at the other stop. I don't take too much into what happened with assistant coaches at other stops, even coordinators, because you're in a different scheme now. You're in Liam's scheme. He spent last year learning it. He's working with Liam. Clearly there's a trust level there. In my experience, coordinators who are working for coaches who call plays, things look a lot different from team to team when those guys get the coordinator job. So I guess he's the heir apparent, but you never know until it actually plays out. So they're setting up their staff. It might work that way. Clearly, Liam trusts him, and you would think that's the progression, and we'll see.
You and I recently had a conversation about special teams. It's among the best in the NFL, with the punter, kicker, deep snapper, and obviously the electrifying Parker Washington, even though you and I, got into will it be less. What about, the four core guys? This is going to be a tough roster to make. And, whether it's your sixth wide receiver or another safety or another DB, that's going to be really intriguing to me. And that even includes, in my opinion, John, Amir Abdullah, who is on the roster. And if he makes it, it's because he's a kick returner. It's going to be really interesting to see how the special teams comes into play.
Yeah, and I think one thing about Heath Farwell getting that promotion, I've been around a lot of special teams coaches. I think Heath could someday be a head coach in this league, and that happened. Harbaugh went that way, meaning John Harbaugh. He's a leader and he's good on the podium. He's respected in the locker room. I'm not saying this franchise, obviously, but Heath's that sort of special teams coach to me that is sort of a different beast, and has been a great special teams unit. He does such a great job. The key for special teams, obviously, is you think you got your four core guys, and then a four core guy like Dewey all of a sudden is a starter and you lose it. Heath's really good at adapting to personnel. When he loses a four core guy, he has guys ready. It was not insignificant to me that he was one of the guys they kept off the old staff. He's a pro, and they're a better organization when he's around.
Talking with John Oehser, senior writer, Jaguars.com. And, of course, read everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. All right, we bring in July. We're 25 days away from the rookies, which is just scary to me. It's here. Anything significant do you think happens? We've talked about contracts. We believe Parker would be next, but I'm talking about, going out and getting maybe an edge. Does that happen perhaps in August once training camp is underway? What's your thought there?
I think this is a franchise that showed last year it's really good at reshaping on the fly. So if you remember last year, they went out during training camp, got, I think it was Dickerson they picked up then, got some defensive tackle help when they realized they needed it, started reshaping receiver when they realized they had some issues there, and then went out and got Tim Patrick. That happened after training camp started. So I fully expect them to be on their toes, if you will, looking at things that happened during training camp. I don't think you see any – I'd be surprised if you saw significant action between now and training camp. But I'd be almost surprised with this organization if you don't see them do something once training camp starts, because there's really not any, there's no sacred cows, so to speak. If they see it going on during training camp at edge rusher or wherever, I'm not saying that position, but they're not going to be shy about going out and addressing something if they think there's an issue.
Yeah, it's a fair point. You brought up a couple of
But not
examples.
until then.
Right.
Point.
A few examples of some trades that they made. And then, of course, Jacoby Myers, they make midseason. So I think you can also make the case that they'll go with what they have. And if they feel there's a need, an expiring contract for maybe a guy like a Thibodeau out in New York that's going to cost a lot, but you only have to pay half the rest of his salary. And then, of course, the question is, can you sign him long-term the way they did with Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, and remember, at least on 2 occasions, James Gladstone, general manager, has been very specific about saying, hey, you build through the draft, but you build great teams year-round. That's what he means by that. They like having the equity, the flexibility to be able to make a move like that. It sounded sort of like GM speak when he said it at his introductory press conference, and then you saw it in action with people like Tim Patrick, Jacoby Myers. They believe in it, and they had the flexibility to do it.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up with a league question. J.C. Treader was asked over the weekend. Of course, he's the NFLPA's director. You guys going to an 18th game next year? He said that's unlikely. This is only year 6 of the current 11-year deal within the collective bargaining agreement. Obviously, you say that because you need more money, but where are you with all of this? Is 2027 too early?
Well, to me, 1978 was too early to go to 16, right? So, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I don't really want to see them go to 18. They're going to do it. To me, him saying that, I interpret it the same way you did. He's going to say that because that's going to drive up the owners saying, okay, we need to do something to make this happen. It's the biggest negotiating piece left for the players because they know the owners want it, and the players are going to act like they don't want it until they get something out of it. I'm assuming it's going to happen 27 or 28. I'm assuming it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I don't think it's needed. I think it's too much in terms of wear and tear on these guys. But guess what, Rick? You ask me things. They don't.
Yeah. All right, John. Hey, happy 4th to you and yours, man. We'll pick it up again next week.
Yeah, you as well. Go USA, Rick.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Enjoy that.
All right, buddy.
That's coming up in about a little bit less than 45 minutes. As a matter of fact, we're going to bring JJ onto the program coming up here in just a few and have him tell us what to look for tonight. It's very hypocritical of the NFL to want this 18th game, even though everyone wants it, right? All the consumers want it. You want it. I want it. John may be the exception to the rule, but they're going to have to make significant changes. They're going to have to inflate the salary cap that much more. They are going to have to absolutely expand the game day roster. You got to have more players. They did a nice job changing the IR rule once COVID came about, as well as the practice squad rule. I think 16's fine for the practice squad. I think you have to have more leeway as well when it comes to the injured reserve. Is there more positions? Are there more, as far as a number with guys that you can place on the IR and then bring back? The PUP list, are they going to make some changes there if you're not able to go during, camp? And I think there's so much within the language that everything has to be ironed out here. You're asking the players to go 18 times a season in what is just physically pounding one another. You have to make all of these changes. And it's all based on money. Again, $23 billion annually is what the NFL is making. Think about that. $23 billion over 32 teams. And That is just a sensational amount of cash. And, of course, the broadcasting rights are going to go way up. That's another big part of all of this. Okay, they have a snag in the contract where they can go to each and every one of these entities and force a new deal. And maybe I don't. I've never really looked for it, but it would intrigue me. I don't know if you can get this type of information because the networks obviously only deal with football. 17 regular season games, some preseason games, and the playoffs. I don't know how you put all of that into order with everything else that runs on your network 24/7. But why am I under the belief that these networks lose money on the NFL, but they still have to have it? They can't afford not to have it. Now, I may be wrong. I remember when it was $1 million to run a commercial during the Super Bowl, right? I mean, that's gone way up. So I could be wrong here, but I don't think I am. I really don't. I think they're losing broadcast rights. They're losing money to NFL teams. But again, they can't afford not to be without it. So again, that's just my way of looking at it. But maybe there's something that we could find out. It'd be probably pretty hard to do, considering we'd have to tie in everything else that happens with all the shows and movies and whatever it is, nightly news. I just don't have an answer to that question. Maybe JJ will. He's coming up next, and he's going to tell us all about the World Cup. It starts tonight out in California, Santa Clara. It'll be at 8 o'clock. The United States is taking on Bosnia.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer update, sponsored by Henkel, official partner of U.S. Soccer. In the World Cup round of 32, a great game in Seattle has gone final. Belgium awarded a penalty kick after a VAR review in the final moments of extra time. Yuri Tielemans converts in the 126th minute, his second goal of the game. A final, Belgium 3, Senegal 2. Belgium into the round of 16, and they will play the winner of tonight's game next. Starting at 8 p.m. Eastern in Santa Clara, it's the USA versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. The U.S. returning to its starting 11 that opened the World Cup with a 4-1 win over Paraguay. That means Christian Pulisic back in the lineup after missing the last two starts with a calf injury. And earlier, England, a 2-1 win over DR Congo. I'm Phil Constantino, Westwood One Sports.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
I'm Rick Ballou. DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida. Win or go home. That's it. That's the World Cup knockout round, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match. The DraftKings app is now live in Florida, so whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you are in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim, issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions, dollars that expire in 1 year, ends July 19th. Terms, dkng.co/predictions. Promo.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler.
If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fireworks is ready for the biggest 4th of July in a generation. Shop by July 2nd for the best selection and shopping experience before huge last-minute crowds arrive July 3rd and 4th. Superior Fireworks, Northeast Florida's locally owned fireworks superstore. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Blanding Boulevard in Orange Park and online at superiorfireworks.com/radio.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter? I came right over.
It's my water, Jason. Smell this.
Yeesh.
That came out of my tap, Jason. I'm worried there's a lot more in there than just H2 and O.
Well, yeah. In Jacksonville, we have some of the hardest water in Florida. There's calcium carbonate in there and magnesium sulfate and...
I'm sorry, calcium... what now?
It's the same stuff that makes those cool stalactites in caves.
Well, it's making my shower all powdery, my tap's all crusty, and caves make me claustrophobic.
Put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Call Bueller Air and Plumbing, and our water treatment experts will do a free water quality test. We'll check for minerals, bacteria, anything that might make your water smelly or damage your plumbing or appliances.
And if it's bad, you can fix it?
Your glasses will come out cleaner, your shampoo will lather better.
I like a good lather, Jason.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
All right, we're about 40 minutes away. The United States against Bosnia, win or go home. 8 o'clock tonight, the United States favored. I now see by a goal and a half. I've seen it the other way at 280, 285 to the dollar. Let's bring in JJ LaSelva, of course, who you get each and every day here on Primetime and the Frangie Show. He also has a very popular soccer podcast and will also be joining you live immediately following tonight's game. JJ, how you doing?
Ricky B, we are getting close, my friend. I'm starting to get nervous.
Yes. We are now. First things first, give us a baby update. What's going on?
That is the most important question. Thank you for asking. We're on 2 weeks, the 14th. That's the due date.
Wow.
It's happening.
Man, that's going to be a lot of fun. Everything changes, including no sleep, but it's still worth it. It's a good deal. All right. So it's win or go home. And I was reading this earlier today. This is the first time, historically speaking, that the United States has ever been in a round 32 matchup.
Well, the round of 32s never existed until this year, Rick. So they expanded the tournament. It used to be after the group stage, if you went to the next round, that was round of 16. Now they expanded it much like the college football playoff. They just put a bunch of more teams in it. So now there's a round of 32. So this is everybody's first round of 32 games.
Okay. So I'm reading here now it says one knockout match. Okay.
Knockout game. Yeah.
Knockout match. It used to be sitting out 32. All right. They're a big favorite. Tell us what you believe here. How do they match up against Bosnia?
Yeah, so this is the first time they've ever actually been favored in a knockout game, ever, in the history of the World Cup. And so they, on paper, you know, they're supposed to be a lot better. We're more athletic, we're quicker, we're younger. Basically everything you want we have, except they're a lot taller than us and more physical than us. So they're going to try to score. They're going to try to keep it low scoring. And the way they're going to want to score is on like corner kicks, free kicks, stuff like that. They're really going to want to slow the game down. But I think we're going to have too much athleticism for them, honestly. I think we're going to be too quick for them. Our counter pressing is going to be too much, which that's like when we lose the ball, we, get right in their face and win it right back. That's sort of our style of play. I think that's going to be too much for Bosnia. So if I had to bet, I would probably say about 2-1, 3-1 for the good guys.
Last week you told us that the game didn't have a tremendous amount of importance, and with that you were going to see more guys getting playing time who don't regularly get all that much. What did you learn last week with some substitutions that could apply to tonight?
I saw that if we have to play a lot of these guys on the bench, we are totally screwed. It's like the level from our starters to our reserves is very big, or like the gap is huge. And so, but one thing that was positive last week was Pulisic, who is our best player, came back from injury, and he did play about 30 minutes of the game. He looked fantastic. Like immediately, he was the quickest player on the field. So that was a great sign. He's starting tonight. So basically the entire lineup that we had in the Paraguay game, which was the first game that we had where we went rampant and won like 4-1 and 3-0 at halftime. It was super easy. That exact same lineup is what we're playing tonight.
All right.
So good news, Pulisic is healthy enough to play and start.
How are they outside of Pulisic? How are they health-wise?
Everybody's good to go. The only one that got hurt last week is Trusty, and he's a backup defender anyways. So, yeah, everybody's got a full bill of health, man. There is going to be no excuses if we blow this. It will be very embarrassing.
United States against Bosnia coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. J.J. LaSelva is going to join you immediately following the game, and he's going to broadcast live. He'll tell you all about that in just a couple of minutes. All right. Now, how does this all work out? Do they reshuffle the deck? If the United States does win tonight, when would they play next? And do you know who their opponent would be?
Yeah, no, they don't shuffle things up. It's just a bracket from here on. And there was a game that literally just ended between the two guys that we potentially were going to play. So we would play on Monday, and it would be against Belgium, who just won in extra time against Senegal. They were down 2-0 in like the 86th minute with basically like 5 minutes left in the game, and ended up winning in extra time. So they're going to have a ton of momentum. Belgium is a really good side. So that would that will be the U.S.'s next opponent if they win tonight. Listen. So we can't overlook Bosnia. On paper, it's, we're better than them, but the U.S. has not beaten a team from Europe in 13 straight matches. It's just not something we do. Historically, we've never we haven't won a knockout game since 2002. We've only won one knockout game in our entire history. So you can't take tonight for granted. But yes, if we do move on, we play Belgium in the round of 16.
Wow. I know I asked you this last week. We'll wrap with it. I didn't see what occurred, but I'm getting a lot of complaints now about this late penalty that was called, and apparently there was a penalty kick that decided the victory. refereeing can be huge in any one of these games. I just hope it doesn't come down to that tonight. I mean, win or lose, you hate it when the officials get involved.
Oh, absolutely. And here's something that could happen in this game that you don't see in any other sport. A red card. Because, guys get kicked out of baseball games. They get kicked out of basketball, football, whatever. But they are replaced by someone, the backup. So in soccer, if we make a really stupid mistake tonight and the guy gets a red card, you just have to play with 10 men the rest of the game. And that's exactly what happened when Bosnia played Italy to qualify for the World Cup a couple months ago. So Italy, much better team on paper than Bosnia. Every single position they just have a better player at, same as we will tonight against Bosnia. But early in the game, they go down a man with a red card and have to play the next, whatever it was, 70-plus minutes with 10 men, and they eventually lose. So, a dumb individual mistake by a player tonight could screw your entire country.
Very interesting.
So, now that we have replay review in soccer, it's a lot more common for guys to get red cards for stupid fouls and stuff like that. And with penalties, though, I think so far in the tournament, I feel like they've been pretty fair about penalties. I felt like the one that just decided the Belgium-Senegal match was a fair call. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But when it comes to reffing, man, a red card decision could be the end of your tournament.
All right, JJ, tell our listeners how they can find you tonight after the game and also your soccer podcast.
Yeah, so tonight we'll be live on 1010XL's YouTube, on our Twitter, on our Instagram. It's simple as just go to it immediately after the game, and we'll be on there live, literally right after the final whistle goes. It'll probably be around 10 o'clock. If there is no extra time, if there's extra time, it'll be probably 30, 40 minutes after that. So, and every Monday we do a live in-studio show. That's also on 1010XL's YouTube page. So it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on, Rick.
You got it, JJ. Hopefully we'll do it again next week. Hopefully they're victorious. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
There he goes, JJ La Selva. And I'm learning. I'm not going to try to fake it. Okay. I just do not know a lot about soccer. I don't. I almost never talk about it. And, I understand the importance of the World Cup. Certainly, just the victory here tonight, heading towards our 250th birthday, and then an opportunity to do it on Monday would be just out of this world for soccer fans. And, just people who are hopping on the bandwagon. I see it when it's, the run for the gold medal in hockey. And again, I may ask a question that you may be like, well, that's an ignorant question. I'll admit it. I don't know much about it. Just like there's plenty of people out there that don't know much about hockey that will ask me questions, and that's fine. But we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it tonight. Hopefully the United States, they're a big favorite. They can get through Bosnia. Again, immediately following the game, JJ, best bet, go to Twitter or go to 1010XL on YouTube, and you can get JJ's recap. All right, in the meantime, we got a lot to do. We're with you tonight until 8 o'clock. Hacker's live on location, right? A watch party out at Twin Peaks. Is that where he's at?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a lot of fun out there. That's a great place. I do a few shows out there during the football season, and that is always a lot of fun. So that is where Hacker Nation is tonight. A lot of soccer fans making their way out there as well. Be safe. Enjoy yourself as always. Drive safe.
Hot summer heat.
On that summertime ship, babe, need something to keep you cool.
Keep it cool all summer long with 1010XL, Jacksonville's cool summer station.
When you're injured, you need more than legal advice. You need someone who truly cares. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, I take pride in what we do. You're never just another case. We take the time to listen, guide you through the process, and fight for your recovery every step of the way. And remember, you pay nothing unless we win. Zip, nada, nothing. Learn more at CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
The weather is heating up, and it's time to drop a line in the water. Gear up today at Green Acres Sporting Goods, Jacksonville's fishing headquarters. From Shimano and Penn reels to zoom baits and much more for saltwater and freshwater fishing. They've got everything you need to land the big one. And when your gear needs work, trust their expert rod and reel repair to keep you casting like new. Stop by Green Acres today or shop online at greenacresporting.com.
One of Beard's Diamond's most popular events ever is back. It's Christmas in July. Right now, for a limited time, you get as much as 40% off anything in our showcases. Yes, that includes engagement rings, fashion rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, colored gemstones. This is the annual store-wide sale that everyone loves, because you get December prices in July. Up to 40% off store-wide. Don't miss Christmas in July. Exclusively at Beard's Diamond at the St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com. Shop local. Shop Beards. Santa Claus normally avoids Florida this time of year, but not this year. Christmas in July is happening right now at Beard's Diamonds. Get up to 40% off now through July 27th. Beard's showcases are stocked with all new fashion jewelry, exquisite colored gemstone pieces, and the best selection of diamonds in North Florida. Rounds, emerald cuts, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ovals, from a half carat to 10 carats and more. Come and find the perfect engagement ring now at Beard's and save up to 40%. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company is hiring for an estimator. Are you a motivated, customer-focused professional who enjoys working with people and doing things the right way? We want to hear from you. Send your resume to jcwroof at jcwroof.com or call 904-396-1546. Family owned and operated since 1946. Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company, the first name in Jacksonville roofing.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Well, as much as I'd love to give it to Bobby Bonilla on Bobby Bonilla Day, I can't. It's all about the United States of America. And that's coming up in about 23 minutes. USA Bosnia, round of 32, an opportunity to advance. And again, only one time in their history have they played in a knockout game. So they've already achieved that, and they have expanded it, as JJ told us. They've gone from 32 until, or up now from 16 to 32. Some people commenting about JJ on YouTube. CRS019, Paul's got Meg for the loss. He goes off tonight, Rick. Okay. Robert Lamison, I think our new running game coordinator will be the new offensive coordinator, in my opinion. Liam knows him well. Yeah, he went and he handpicked Brian Pacheco, but he also knows Shane Waldron. They go way back to the UMass days. I don't know if how much is too much, but in the case of, the offensive line, I would like, all of that attention to be based on being able to run the football. So we'll see what happens. Brian Pacucci is his name. I might have said something different. I know I didn't call him the late Brian Piccolo, but it's Brian Pacucci. Pick You ever seen Brian's song?
I have not. I've been told to avoid it because it's apparently heartbreaking.
It is. And it was a made-for-TV movie. It wasn't one that was in the theaters, even though it starred James Caan. And was it Carl Weathers? Let me look that up. Very famous. No, Carl Weathers was Rocky. Who was the guy who plays Gale Sayers in the movie? Let's see. Made for TV. I'm just trying to pull it up here. It's Billy D. Williams, man. How did I forget? Was it Billy D. Williams? Did he do Colt 45 commercials or did he do Schlitz Malt?
It was Colt 45.
It was Colt 45.
Yeah, one of my best friends in high school had.
Right.
We procured one of those cutouts, and that lived in the living room for many years.
He was smooth. He was. James Caan passed. I haven't heard anything about Billy D. Williams. Hopefully he's still with us. 9,800, Ballou. Jags have the worst running back room in the league. No. No. I'm going to argue with you there. Okay? I mean, I am. And as always, you're going to hold me to it. Okay? But I absolutely, totally disagree with that. I think that this is going to be a improved rushing attack. So things change. A year ago at this time, you wanted Travis Etienne traded. A year ago at this time, you wanted Tank Bigsby traded. I mean, I've seen it, and I've lived through it. We'll see what ends up happening when this actually does take place. Ballou, and as an FSU fan, I'm going to put so much money on Bama money line. Profit is profit. It's a guarantee. Norvell can't win a road game. You think he'll win in Tuscaloosa? My money is on the table, Rick. No, I don't think he'll win in Tuscaloosa. And the guy can't win in Winston-Salem. The guy can't win, anywhere on Tobacco Road. He can't win at Chestnut Hill. He can't win anywhere. Tuscaloosa? Mm-mm. Now, I do have some people that tell me, be careful now. The Noles are going to sneak in this year and play good. It's like, just stop it now. Just stop it. Behind Enemy Lines, Owen Wilson, Gene Hackman, USA boss. I don't know what that's about. You ever seen Behind Enemy Lines? I know Owen Wilson, wasn't he at the game last week in Los Angeles? I think they showed him. They showed the Fight Club dudes.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yep.
Everybody was like, why is Edward Norton standing by himself?
Yeah. Well, I thought he was with the Golden Boy.
No, he was, but in Fight Club.
Oh, all right.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Don't know much about that. Yes, here's someone asked about Jaylen Brown and Paul George. Listen. He kind of warmed out his welcome. And there's not much more that you can say about it than just that. Okay? He was sensational in Boston, but apparently he didn't like sharing the limelight. So I don't know how he's going to handle that in Philadelphia. All right? I mean, you go to every NFL team, every NBA team, there are going to be stars. Stars and more stars. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And I'm surprised they made the trade. I thought they would possibly, during the NBA draft, but I certainly didn't see that happening the way it actually did transpire a few hours ago. To me, that is absolutely a surprise. And I wanted to get in this. Someone says to me, that's why you do. And I was talking about being in the moment. I went to the John Lennon quote earlier about life is what happens while you're busy making other plans, and how accurate that is, but how I've always, and I'm not bothered by this, I've always found it amusing that instead of enjoying that moment, you got to film the beginning of a concert or film the flyover. And even though YouTube even is thousands and thousands, in some cases millions of views of the first song at a concert or the hit song at a concert. Yet I think there's a way of thinking that, well, you kind of have to prove that you were there, right? I mean, I did it last week, 2 weeks ago, when I went in front of the bridge, the Jaws Bridge. I could have just gone online and come up with 1,000 better videos and posted it. But no, it's the, hey, I'm here, you're not, here's the Jaws Bridge. But I think there's a lot of truth to why not just put the phone away or enjoy it. Or maybe if you're at a concert, maybe take a photo, if you're taking a still photo, of the sixth song. Maybe a song that's not as popular, where at that particular point, you can get involved with it and you really don't care all that much because it's not your favorite tune. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But anyway, so guys, that's why they don't allow phones at the Masters, because they want you to enjoy the moment. I'm like, hell no, that's not the reason. The reason why they don't allow it at the Masters is because they don't want anything or anyone distracting the players. I'm old enough to remember when you could not have a cell phone right here at the Players' Championship. We did hole-to-hole coverage at the ball. And our radio station was in its infancy. And it was an absolute, total, complete train wreck. We were all young 20-something-year-olds. We had no real golf experience. And, it was Bill Riley and my buddy Mike Matthews. Used to be a golf pro at Jack's Golf and Country, then the course at Westland. And they were above 17. And, myself and about 4 or 5 others were literally just running around the golf course. And again, that was in my punk ass days. So I'm drilling beers in one hand. I've got a huge cell phone in the other. And of course, these security guards never got the memo. So I'd pick up and I'd be like, Steve Elkington is about 18 feet away for par, standing over this putt. And I'd have some hourly paid, overfed staff worker coming after me like he was Alan freaking Page. And I'm like, sir, I'm live on the air. He's like, you're not allowed to have cell phones here. I'm like, you see this little wraparound ribbon on my arm? That gives me clearance to talk on the radio. So it's not that at the Masters. It's because you don't want to upset these players. Maybe we'll give you a little bit on this tomorrow, involved with Jordan Spieth and the late Tommy Lasorda. That'll be part of Thursday's show.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Step into Twin Peaks and you're in the lodge. Warm wood, roaring TVs, and the kind of energy your living room wish it was. Wings, burgers, ice-cold 29-degree beers, and a vibe that keeps you planted for the final buzzer. ET here for Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like public works supervisor.
Hey, this water main is under a ton of pressure. Did you ever fix it?
Yeah, 3 layers of duct tape. Wait, should I have added a 4th layer?
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hicken here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Celebrate the month of July with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 and take $75 off air duct cleaning as well. Hicken here. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Take advantage of the savings.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, we'll head to Hacker in just 1 second. Of course, the anticipation of tonight's game is enormous. Paul Skeens hasn't won in a month, and he is getting lit. 3 hits, 5 runs. Zach Wheeler on the bump for Philadelphia, the Battle of Pennsylvania. And who would have thought that we would see Skeens actually with an earned run average of 3.47. His first 2 years in Major League Baseball, it was under 2. Let's go to the big story. That's Hacker Nation. He joins us live from Twin Peaks. Going to be a huge party. Hacker, how are you?
Rick, it is good. Glad to be back. And, boy, I picked a great time to come back. Obviously, the United States soccer team getting underway here. In about 10 or 15 minutes, as you mentioned, Twin Peaks, and I will tell you, this place is absolutely jam-packed. There is not a seat to be had. It is going to be quite the scene out here tonight.
Yeah, I love that place out there quite a bit during football season. So you're a big soccer guy. The United States is favored heavily in this game. What are your expectations?
Yeah, you always hate to be favored heavily in a game like this. You saw Paraguay upset Germany. You saw the Netherlands get knocked out. England almost got knocked out earlier today. So when you get this late in the tournament, Rick, everybody's good. This is a Bosnia team, though. The bottom line is they've never won a knockout game in the World Cup. The United States has won 1 knockout game in the history of the World Cup, and that was 24 years ago, back in 2002. So something's going to happen tonight for one of these countries that hasn't happened in at least a quarter century. I certainly hope it's the United States on the winning end this evening.
You know, our 250th birthday is coming up in just a couple of days. We just saw the United States men and women win the gold medal in hockey. I understand that this isn't the final achievement, but winning tonight and taking that in to the 4th of July holiday, what's that going to mean for soccer fans in our country?
It would be enormous. Again, they've never won a knockout game. The United States hasn't on U.S. soil. In fact, the only knockout game they won that I mentioned 24 years ago was at 5 in the morning East Coast time against Mexico when the tournament was held in South Korea. You got a prime time audience tonight. There'll be 17, 18, 19 million people watching this game. This is an unbelievable opportunity for soccer in the United States of America to take full circle tonight.
All right, so you'll be all over that that. That's coming up right now. What else do you have planned on your show?
Yeah, obviously a lot of football. We'll do our AFC West preview kicks off tonight. We'll make stops in L.A. with the Chargers and in Kansas City with the Chiefs. We'll never get too far away from the Jaguars. But as you can imagine, a majority of the show tonight will be about the United States and Bosnia out here at Twin Peaks. Come on out and join us. As I said, the beer is cold, the food is tasty, and there are a ton of United States fans out here in what's going to be a very festive evening.
All right, Hacker, have a fun time out there. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Rick.
There he goes, Hacker Nation. Boy, that sounds like a whole heck of a lot of fun. Big time party out there. So, that's going to do it for us. We'll have some reaction on that coming up tomorrow. And, yeah, let's hope for the best. This would be great. They're favored, but upsets do occur. No doubt about it. Be a great moment for diehard soccer fans and then those who are hopping on the bandwagon, kind of like myself. All right. Do you want to thank Hack? Do you want to thank John Oehser? Do you want to thank JJ LaSelva? Our producer, as always, is Jared Justice. Hey, we're back tomorrow on a Thursday. Already have a couple of good ideas scheduled for that program. That'll do it. Keep it right here. Hacker Nation is next. You are listening to the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars on 92.5 FM, 1010 XL on the AM.